Here is a speed run for At the Races, the VBA and Lambda template you can download at a link in the description. Level 1, we're just dealing with the simple distance divided by speed formula and rounding too. Don't forget about rounding. Everything in this case is going to be rounded to the nearest second. Now we got to worry about turns. So let's look at the map here and we will see how many turns there are, right? We're going to count each of these here on the map. And we're going to see that there are 12 turns. So that means, there's normal and turn. There's 60 and 12, right? Because of 72 total. So that times 100. This is meters. This is squares. This is the type. The speed for normal is that. The speed for turning is that. And then the time is the distance, meters, divided by the speed. And round sum that to 0. All right, so there it is with turning. Now we're going to do power-ups. All right, so for power-ups, I'm going to make a copy of this because for power, it depends on if you're going straight or turning, what your speed is going to be. You have different speed, straight and turning, powered up and not. So let's call this track 2. When you power up, your next 3 squares, 1, 2, and this we're going to call a powered turn. Same here, your next 3 squares, 1, 2, and this one is a powered turn. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, power turn. The square itself also counts. It's the square itself and the next 3. Don't really care about the pit stop. I do care about the powered turns. And this is a normal, right? It's not a turn. So now I've got the types that I need, right? So turning and normal is switched here, right? So this is the this is the turning speed. This is the normal speed. Now for the power normal. So power normal is the minimum of 200, right? Because the cannot go faster than 200 no matter what. The normal speed times 1 plus the boost percentage is the boosted speed. And the power turning is the same formula, but based on the base speed is the turn speed, not the powered speed, not the straight speed. All right, so now these times get added and they get rounded. And that's level 3. Now we got pit stops. So I've got to create a new map here for what happens, how many squares do we have in the pit scenario. So first of all, this part of the track I'm skipping. After you hit this power up, this is now a power turn. This is now a straightaway, right? And this should add up to 65, which it does because it's 6,500 according to the instructions. So now for the pit stop lap, right? Use the same formula here. Bring these down and use the same formula here. So this is the normal time is the sum of these. And the pit time is the sum of these plus 10 seconds for the pit stop itself. Now I have to determine on which of the 10 laps, right, or which of the X laps am I gonna pit or not. Well, that's based on the stint. The stint is the stint at lap start is how many meters you can go without pitting, right? And it starts out at 20,000 at the beginning of lap 1. So to figure this out, I need some distances. So there's a normal and a pit. Can be divided into before the entrance, after the exit, and total, right? So there's 7,200 meters versus 6,500 meters. Before, it says here in the instructions, is 4,100. So the amount after the pit stop is, you can subtract. All right, so now at pit entrance, right? My stint is what it was at the start of the lap minus 4,100. My threshold to make my decision depends on if I'm on the last lap or not. So if my lap number is equal to the last lap, then in order to skip the pit, all I got to do is make it to the finish line, which is 3,100 away from here. But if it's not the last lap, I got to make it all the way back around to the pit entrance again, which is 7,200. So will I pit or not? Well, it depends on if my stint is less than my decision threshold, then yes, I will pit. Otherwise, I will not. And then my stint at lap end, right? Again, depends on whether I pitted or not. So if I pitted, then first of all, I get a refresh. So that's refreshed back up to the start. But then I lose what is after the pit exit, which is 2,400. If I did not pit, right, then it was what it was at the pit entrance minus this 3,100 to get from the normal to the start finish line. All right, and then at the beginning of the next lap, that's just this again. So it goes here, and I got to make room for a lot of laps. God knows how many laps this race is going to be. So my time depends on, first of all, is the race over? So if that's nothing, then the race is over. If otherwise, if I pitted, then I use the pit time. Otherwise, I use the normal time. All right, and something's not locked the way it should be. Times aren't locked. There we go. So round sum of that to the 0 seconds. All right, so in number 5, we've got all these racers going a number of laps. So what I need to know, I'm going to use my calculation from level 4 to figure out for each racer, each possible number of laps, how many seconds is it going to take them, right? Using a 2-dimensional what-if table. So for the 100 racers, numbered 1 to 100, they have to go different number of laps depending on the race here, right? These are the different number of laps that I care about. So I can put that, you know, over here. So I will, don't need to do it multiple times, transpose, unique, this thing. Those are my lap numbers. All right, so now up here, you know, let's say I have racer number 1. I'm going to look up racer number 1 statistics on the list of racers. All right, so now this is just these statistics. And the number of laps, right? I don't know, it might be 5 to start with, let's say. And then this is the time it takes them So I can move that down here, and now I'm ready to make a what if table here in column U. So if I do a what if where the column input cell is the racer number and the row input cell is the lap number, this is how long it takes racer 2 to go 20 laps, is that number of seconds, which is what I'm going to need now. So now I use X text split lambda. Just will make these a column and numbers. And then I use my label lookup, which is just like index match. So I set up this array here, locked, and I'm going to look up the racer number, and the lap number is fixed. So that's the number of seconds, and then the winner is the one who goes in the smallest number of seconds. So I look up that, returning on there. And hopefully we see all check marks and 1,000 points, which we do. Average speed, same time with or without the pit stop. Well, the difference in distance is 7,200 minus 6,500, and the distance in time is 10 seconds. So it is the distance divided by the time. Which racer? I'm going to do that one in a minute. That one's a little trickier, right? This one, racers in level 5, potential increase going through a power up, right? This is just from here, right? So if you, how much increase do you get from a power up? Well, it's the minimum of 200, because 200 is our speed limit, and your regular speed times 1 plus your boost. So that's your boosted speed minus your original speed is how much you gained, right? So who gained the most? So the biggest on this, finding the racer number, is racer number 30 gained the most. But that's the wrong bonus. All right, now who has the most laps? Who's ridden the most laps? So I got to add all these together for these people, right? So I'm going to do another what if table with the racer numbers here. All right, so if your racer is 1, I'm going to make a little text thing to look up, because I'm going to use my substring, count substring, lambda. So I'm going to look for the text of that digit surrounded by semicolons. Right, so that's semicolon, 1 semicolon. So now I'm going to use count substring on the big one, right, which is semicolon and this, because I got to have semicolons at the very start and end also, in case it's the first and last one. So I'm going to find that pattern. I'm going to look for that pattern on there and see how many there are. This got to stay locked, I believe. Oh, so that's it. So the number of laps that this racer did now is the sum product of whether they were in the race or not and the number of laps in the race. All right, so now what if table using that as a column input cell. And now I find the biggest of this on this is racer 63. Stop, 14 minutes, 2 seconds. Thank you for watching.